What are you doing?
Huh? Oh, I'm just getting ready to start editing a new video.
Are you sure that's...
Look, the only people that assumed the Code Vein 2 video was going to be the last video was Treeper, Brendan, Aaron, and to an extent, Jordan.
To an extent?
Well, that's because I technically revealed to her that it wasn't going to be the last video before this one.
Oh, understood. Okay, then what kind of video are you making now?
Do you remember Sonic Speed Simulator? I can't believe we are living in a world where I'm actually doing this. As much as I hate to admit it and am shocked to admit it, Sonic Speed Simulator is fixed. Okay, but it's still not a great game, but like, let me explain. For those who are new to my channel, I have made a couple of Sonic Speed Simulator videos in the past, specifically two. They were mainly talking about the Reborn version of the game, which, for those unaware, Sonic Speed Simulator had a bit of a rebrand going under the title Sonic Speed Simulator Reborn. And if you're someone with a brain, you would know they basically made the game bad. What did they do, you may ask? Well, I won't say every little issue that I had with Reborn, but the main issue that I had was with the progression system. A lot of your chows, aka the little pets that you have, had their stats changed, and usually changed in ways to make them objectively worse, especially if you grinded for hours on end in the original version to get them as strong as they were. And they removed the ability to get like resources faster and better upon rebirth. Instead, you get skill pieces per rebirth. The skills, or I guess the stat boosts that you get from spending skill points, they costed way too much. It was not a good system. It was a terrible system. I would argue one of the worst progression systems I've seen in a video game. The point is, what was once a simple, not too crazy Sonic game where you just run around and just level up, get faster, all that sort of stuff, was bottled down to nobody being able to even get above level 400. And now, if we look at the top of the screen, oh my god, what a concept. Okay, before I talk about some of the things that have improved in this game, let me give you a little rundown, a little story. So for the longest time, Roblox has been going under heat. Gee, I wonder why. It's almost like they are some of the stupidest fucking developers ever. Why am I still playing their game? Because, dude, this gives out views. Like, I don't do this shit for a living, but this gives out views, and I think it'd be funny to talk about, so I don't care. Anyways, I heard news about a lot of characters that were removed in Pillar Chase 2 coming back, and if you don't know what Pillar Chase 2 is, it was just a asymmetrical horror game starring a bunch of, like, creepypasta and or indie horror icons, blah, blah, blah. I originally hopped on Pillar Chase to look at all this stuff, and just out of morbid curiosity, I went on to Sonic Speed Simulator, and I was shocked that when I loaded in, I was at level 1, and I was like, that's strange, not sure why I'm there. But then, when I went to grab XP, you know, get myself back up to speed, I noticed that I was stuck at level 50, and I was told to rebirth to increase my max level. And that's when I knew there was a god. If you look at the top, you can now see that we have our rebirth count back, and not only that, it shows the max level that we are able to obtain. You know, what it was like in the original Speed Simulator. Holy shit, what a fucking concept. Man, who would have thought that having a decent progression system would actually be, you know, good? I mean, don't get me wrong, this alone doesn't save Speed Simulator. I mean, I'm just saying. Jesus fucking Christ. Despite this though, if you want to ignore the monetary systems, which I know how some of you guys are, you can't do a thing called ignore a button. Trust me, I would know. I'm friends with people who rage at fighting games that they don't even know how to play, so like, you know, they're doing that to themselves. Like, it's either learn to play or just play the game to have fun, but they don't want to do either. So, like, you know, it is what it is. They're gonna be like, well, that's out of left field, and I'm like, bitch, you didn't watch the Code Pain video. You should have seen this coming. But anyways, that's not all for the progression system, actually. Don't get me wrong, the chows still remain the same, at least as far as I'm aware, for their stats and everything. I think they've added some new chow and new pets and whatever that have different stats. I don't know if there's any of them that are better, but for reference, the ones I have currently equipped are the, like, little toy robot Tails and Metal Sonic, just because they were they were just good for getting EXP back then, so it was like that was the best I could really do. If there is anything better, you can go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I'm most likely not going to care too much because I am not going to be playing this game. I'm mainly making this video for the sake of talk about it, but if you know anything that's better than those, then like feel free to leave it down in the comments below, you know? You could probably help someone out who actually does play this game. As I've mentioned before, the system that they had in Reborn was using skill pieces to increase your stats, and that actually stays in this game. Not only that, but the prices are actually affordable now. Gee, I wonder why experience is the one I went for the most. But yeah, we still have the ability to upgrade stats and stuff, which is pretty cool, honestly. This feature I never thought was bad. I just thought how it was implemented was god-awful. I hate that this took the devs over 3 fucking years to fix. You guys are slow. Fucking get on your game. You may also notice that there's 2 new stats that we can upgrade, speed and stamina. Speed's pretty self-explanatory, it just increases your max speed. A little more than what you would have if just by leveling up, which is nice. Stamina, I believe, involves the energy bar. I could be wrong on that because I haven't noticed a substantial difference. And even then, I'm always collecting rings, so it's not like I ever get to a point where I'm always running low on energy, but who knows? Maybe that is what it is. Maybe it's not what it is. I don't know. Point is, it's nice to have, I suppose. You may have also noticed that there's a bunch of markers around the map, and I fell behind a fence. Cool. These markers lead to many different things. Most notably, where you'll find a character in their respective zone to do like their main quests and whatever. Nothing too crazy, but you know, it's nice to have. Waypoints for any like events. So like the Fang the Sniper event. Or I'm sorry, Fang the Hunter, as it's called in this fucking game. Anyways, yeah, it's just pretty much anything that is interactable outside of, you know, like event collectibles, like the cardboard Chow, for example. But speaking of Chow, there's also waypoints that show you where the eggs are, so you can, you know, find them and go get some Chow eggs and stuff. Very nice, very nice. And yeah, that's kind of it, honestly. I wasn't expecting this video to be as long or even longer than my last 2 Speed Sim videos because really all I wanted to talk about was just how they made this game better, or at the very least in terms of a casual player standpoint, actually fucking doable. The amount of people that said Reborn was better, I was so confused on that shit, because I'm sitting back like, what about this is better? Seriously, what about having a slower, more grueling process is considered better to you guys? What about that is better? Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this video. Fuck Roblox, dude.